Okay, so I'm just gonna start this, get into this. This is the semifinals between me and Oxy. These matches were probably my best played in the tourney. I definitely felt like I was getting more into a rhythm of solid like play the deeper I got into the tourney. I don't know if that's just like me getting used to the nerves or what it was exactly, but either way, I grabbed these like cows here, which it's always optimal to grab food, but it's always weird, the decision between like how much food you get, how far you go for food, and other things like that. Like if like it's worth getting a chicken, or a sheep, or a cow. End up entering the Nether here with only 15 planks, which I just think is wrong. Like I just probably shouldn't have done that. That being said, it was still like I don't know. I entered slightly slower, but I don't remember, but I might have more food. Um, so there's this Bastion that I spot, and then I'm just trying to keep my eyes peeled for the um, fortress. I'm trying to like scout this terrain because it's a little bit awkward, and I know it's a little bit awkward, and so I'm trying to like find like the cleanest line sort of on it, and I think that there's more terrain than there is, so then I have to kind of take a weird like turn, and then I'm going back in and I'm going on the trees. Trying not to use my wood, which is fine. Like I should have just maybe gotten more blocks with this gold pick and then just used those and been more confident with using my blocks. But I ended up saving time going to the Bastion here. I think they might have gone a hoglin for food instead. Um, and so now I'm going up, and it's always awkward kind of getting up, and I need to like loot the chests and stuff. So I don't know exactly like it's a balance between being like block efficient and actually getting directly to the chests. And sometimes like when the terrain doesn't work, you just have to make a decision and hope it works. Here, it's like a little bit risky. I'm kind of just playing like I'm just like playing out there, you know, I'm playing confident. I think that's important. Like I could have taken a hit there, but if I took anything more than a hit, that was just because of me playing poorly. That's just the end of it. Like, um, I mean, I guess that chest could have not had any gold pieces, but if I could have just looted the other chest, and from there, the odds of not getting any gold pieces from two chests is just so incredibly low that just a misplay not to check those chests, I think, without digging down. It's just like a nice little time save. Either way, I didn't get the iron, so I had to check the other side when got it. Now I'm just doing a normal route. There's nothing like... Actually, I'm remembering this because I rewatched this to try and get like an overview of kind of what was going on to see if I can see if like what points there I could talk about. And this Bastion ends up being kind of weird. First of all, I'm I think I should have ran around on the front. See, I'm gonna go up to the right here. I think running around on the front when it's exposed and just doing the lower route is just plain better. Because doing like going up and then back down is just not that good. And then here, this is like really awkward. These guys are all pathing down, and I try to bring like as many as I can up, but um so that I can drop down an aggro, but I wasn't even planning for that dude at the very bottom to come up, and he just kind of did. Because it's fine if they're down there, you just like place a block to block them off or drop them a couple of pieces of gold, and then as you come up, you can kind of build a funnel, sort of, so that they're forced to go into the pit. And I gravel there because of... This is a misplay, by the way. I gravel there because of the baby zombie pig, or baby pig, which is fine because it's going to be stealing my gold. But then I bring these two pigs down, and now it's graveled, so now they're just going to be, like, everywhere, which it was basically useless to bring those pigs down because it was already graveled. Also, I forgot that I looted the chest there. I think I spot the fort, or no, I did power at the chalice, I think, and now it's just like clean overlaps. I always get reminded of when you're trading at a triple and you overlap shit like this. It just makes me think about Cube's world record, where I was just so like surprised because I'm like, oh, Burge is such a bad Bastion, and then um he just did it so fast, and then it was like, on top of that, he got like food during the Bastion and all this stuff. And I'm like, damn, the overlaps are kind of crazy if you have them, so like maybe it is good. And, I mean, that is just like a benefit to playing Bridge. It's just the like, potential that you can have with overlaps, but at the end of the day, it is still just like one of the worst Bastions, if not the worst. Um, We said we're in the fort here, and I save a little bit of time. I think I actually maybe lost a bit of time on the Bastion because I had those pigs in weird spots, and I kind of was dawdling a little bit. But from here, I play a spawnerless, and I always like playing spawnerless, but it's definitely a weird balance because you never know, like, if, like, spawners can easily pop off. And so, like, if your spawner's like here, I'm kind of leaving. That spawner gave me a one spawn, and I don't want to hang around it that much, and I know there's a second spawner somewhere. So I'm trying to just find the second spawner so that I can make a play off it. I think I finally spot it there. Because spawners, you can just sort of think of it like an average of like two strays, I guess. And so, um, anyway, I have three um, blazes over here, but so many withers and a magma cube. And so in hindsight, like maybe this isn't good to go for, especially since I have to do this shenanigans with the magma cube and the wither skeleton. Also, I learned a new way to kill wither skeletons on the edge of forts, where you just place two blocks and then place a lava on the edge of the fort that's flowing off the fort against the nether brick, and they all just, you crouch over and they all just path in like naturally, and that seems like a lot better than what I did there. There's like a different setup where you use an L. You build an L shape and they all path onto the like block on the L, which is fine, but it's not as good. And then finally, I hit this spawner here, and it's kind of nice because I feel like when you're at 5 rods, you can comfortably like start building your first portal, even if you don't have the spawner mined, and you'll likely leave it. But I managed to get my rods even before needing to have that happen. So now I just have. I mean, this is just like a normal run after this point. Just like um, I don't play it like perfectly, but in that fort, I actually lost a little bit of time to just playing raw spawner, and it's mostly probably because of that commit. I sort of had to commit to the three blazes, depending on like how you think about it. But um, first of all, that first eye broke, so I shouldn't even have to been worrying about that second eye at all. But when this place drops, that's like so nice because I don't have to worry about anything more. Because if you're at like the spawner and nothing's mined out, it's likely that you'll leave, but it's not guaranteed. And also, I have so much food here; it's ridiculous. The hoglin that I killed was so unnecessary, but it was like I just had to kill it, and so it gave me even more food. I don't play this perfectly. I think like see how many blocks I bridge. It's like 25, like 30 blocks. No, like 25 blocks. Um, which is pretty significant. I don't think it was slow, but if I threw a perfect pearl, it would have been faster. But anyway, I'm in the fortress, or I'm in the stronghold, and I do a normal scan. I don't know if I got a mid spike there. I think I did. It looks like I'm pretty confident of going down mid, and it was just straight mid. There's nothing to do. At this point, I know, like, okay, I just have to. I'm far enough ahead that I likely win depending on no matter what happens, but I'm obviously going to go for the zero because if I don't hit the zero, then I could have a chance. I have a decent chance of losing, and um, and if I hit the zero, it's GG. Um, Oxy saves a lot of time in the end game. Um, she had like um, I kind of forget. I rewatched it, but I think she played like a different spawner. Oh, had to go back to the Bastion. I think that's what it was. She saved time in the fort and then had to go back to the Bastion because forgot Obby or something like that. And then since the first portal from the Bastion was way faster, it seemed like her endgame was way faster, but in reality it was just the fort that saved a lot of time. Um, and since the Stronghold's back towards the Bastion, there's no time loss. Anyway, just normal 0. I do left side anchor because it's Y95, and just being very careful and safe about this pearl down, and in the end fountain. So yeah, not much like wrong with that run. Definitely had some time losses, and killing spawnerless was potentially not the play there, especially since how hard I forced it. It ended up just being a lot of raw time loss. But either way, overall good. And on to this next seed. We'll see what this is. It's a village. Villages are always weird. I always find like it hard to like find the correct lines on villages, but here, I mean, it's pretty clear that just play like normally, because I mean, even here, it's actually not that clear because if if there's another blacksmith that I didn't spot off the rip because I didn't look around enough, then I could be losing time to making this stone stuff if I like find a blacksmith that has iron in it or obby or whatever, but there wasn't any other blacksmiths, so I didn't end up losing time. So I ended up saving a little bit of time, and from here, oh wow, this is giving me deja vu about seed I played before. Well, I mean, obviously I played this before, but I was thinking about like a practice seed we played that's reminds me of this. It's not the same. Um, yeah, so from here it's just like I grab the carrots for food. I think carrots are just good, because they're way faster to grab, and then they're actually a better food source once you're in the Bastion. Um, and like the crafting in the Bastion of like crafting them in the Bastion is overlapped as well, but um, I misplaced that gravel, but it doesn't matter because I can just still do the portal anyway. And we're entering Nether, and Oxidiot's hot stuff a few seconds after me, so I saved a little bit of time in the overworld. There was not too much that was going on in that overworld. But I think I played it fine. I mean, what you really need to do with villages is you just need to spot the lava, spot your water, and spot your flint, and from there you can kind of create clean line and your food. Um, and so it is weird though because like a lot of it's kind of assuming. We have the stables here, and then obviously super visible 4. I'm collecting netherrack on the way because you can kind of collect netherrack as you run with very little time loss, and so it is kind of a nice block to have. If you don't have any blocks entering the nether, pretty essential to do that. I dropped the bottom chest, which is just pretty standard, is because I should have grabbed the gold sword maybe there, but with stables, especially if you're not playing triples, you want to be grabbing the bottom chest so that you can be safe with your manhunt gaps, because manhunt gaps are pretty scary. Like, I mean, even here, like I have armor, I have gold, and I'm still taking 5 hearts. So yeah, just to be as safe as possible, you always try to grab a chest before you start your manhunt gap. For me, it's just like a default gap route. Honestly, I'm surprised that I played it like how I did. Normally what I do with gap is I try to do a maximized manhunt route, which is just getting like as many pigs as possible so that I can kind of trade down here and grab the backups, and then the pigs will just be done. Like I drop them these, and then I go up, grab the backups, which I should have used a bow here. It's just a little bit better. I was just not like used to using it, so that's why I didn't. But there's like a trick you can do where you place the bow up above you to get to the backup gap gold. Also, it's always correct to grab the backup gap gold in ranked, in my opinion. Yeah, so anyway, like the idea is that you just like trade out you grab the backups, you clear your inventory, and then these guys are done. But I just did not have enough pigs. I have 49 gold there, so I have to go loot chests now. Gonna just uh, in ranked, you have a guaranteed chest. One of the chests to have 5 obby, so that just had 5 obby, I think. So now there's no other guarantee with the chest. I don't like know if the other chest will have obby. Um, the other thing is like I left all of my gold for the pigs. This is fine because you want to be maximizing your trades. Like if you that extra trade gives you an extra like pearl trade or I don't know random trade, then it could be really nice. But from here, it's like very weird and kind of awkward because now I'm checking these chests, but I don't know if they're gonna have obby. This one ended up having obby, put me on 17. Don't really need to check the top chest because at 49 gold trading, it's very likely that I get my last obby from them, and I have some extra gold pieces on me. I finished. Go back to the trades. I got a 22, and everything else is fine. So I honestly should have just like been more confident in leaving there. And Pearlham in the fort. Looking for a spawner here. They shouldn't have gone where it's kind of buried, but I ended up finding it. This is like a standard blaze fight, but I dropped to 5 RD and I got no strays, even though it's SSV, and so I kind of just immediately went into the blaze bed, which if you're gonna be blaze bedding, you want to be immediately going into it. You don't want to be half-assing it, because then it's kind of causes weird stuff to happen. And so yeah, I went into it, even though hypothetically spawnerless can be better. In this fort, it doesn't seem like it would work, so I just didn't commit to it. I'm like, I don't know how far ahead, maybe 30 seconds ahead right now. I probably just played the Bastion a bit better, but a crucial advantage that I have in the seed, which I have no, like, I just don't know, that I have this is, Oxy didn't get 20. I think she just forgot to check one of the chests, and so, I have like just a big time save there, to be honest. Did I move my mouse? What am I doing? I'm so much better at like getting in a boat now. If you just double click really fast and then F3C, then it'll just be correct every single time. Back then I used to like not understand how it worked and it would be so slow sometimes, like 5-10 seconds time loss even. Um, Now it's so quick for me. It just makes the strat so much better. I grabbed a cow here because it was like so in the way, I mean, I didn't need to do. I think I have gold, but maybe saving gold picks is more for gold picks is more consistent. Oh no, do I have gold? I don't know where my gold went. From here it's just like a normal blaze split, obviously, but I'm kind of scouting the terrain. And also I dropped to 3 because I want to try and force any like extra spawns just to be really close to me. If there can be any, because like why not? Octavio's first portal, so it looks like she again saved time on 4. I think I rewatched and it was just spawn RNG, like I just got like slightly worse spawns. Um, I don't think I did anything particularly wrong. And then from here, going to chords, I picked the upper terrain because it just looks open and it ends up being open, so looks like it was good. And then it opened up right as I needed to get like down to chords. Like ideally you go low for your chords so that you can build your second portal low, but at the same time you kind of gauge the distance, and then based on the distance you can make your decision whether or not like it's better to be low or high. Oh, preemptive, I got a spike. It doesn't look like I'm in starter. Oh, I was just one room off. So from there, I rescan here because I've had problems in the past where I don't scan from starter and then it kind of confuses me on like which direction I'm headed, but it was pretty obviously just mid-right, so back in the portal, and I have lots of pearls, lots of eyes. Do I have my beds pre-crafted? I don't even remember if I did that, but it's 053. I think I did, obviously. Yeah, okay. Um, there was one match last time against Rain where I forgot to pre-craft my beds. And Oxy I spied, so like she made a solid amount of time, even though that um we had to do home portal. But I don't think like I don't know. It's just a normal zero cycle. Pace is fast and feels good to get a sub 10 in the tourney. Really kind of gives you confidence. Um, you're putting on a show, you know. And so that was the second match. Overall, solidly played. Most of my like time save is at these points in my runs. I feel like I'm playing correctly, and I'm playing like fast, decently fast. But like what's kind of nice about this is like when I'm playing like this, most of my time save just comes from being faster, just like quicker on the draw to things, faster with my decisions, faster with my, and so that kind of is that's more fun to improve on than decision making, to be honest, because decision making is so frustrating because you feel like I don't know, just you don't understand um what you're doing wrong compared to that where I can just blatantly look, okay, I moved my mouse slower than Oxidiot, so I probably lost time there. And a normal TNT there, but it only gave me like didn't give me enough logs. Maybe I should have raised it too tall so that I could have gotten the logs so that I didn't have to grab those. Because it's always correct to grab some extra logs, in my opinion, because you don't know when you're gonna have zero anchors and then you're gonna have to do a 6-bed zero, and so you just want to have like enough explosives for 6, um, or even like blaze bed and then 5 or 5+1 or whatever. But I have enough to get 7 there. That's because like it's really awkward. What did I just do here? Okay, how the hell did that work? Um, it's really awkward to like you go from 17 logs to 21, so you go from 5 explosives to 7. So I don't know, it's just weird, but um, yeah. So I'm deciding like what to do, like if I should go around the terrain here, but I end up thinking speed bridging is faster, which I think it's faster. Also, I F3C at my home portal there, which is just a habit that if you're playing ranked, you should probably get into, because it just says, "Oh, this is not in the ring," which isn't helpful, but it tells you the chords that you F3C'd at. So now you can just look at your Ninja Rune bot if you're doing home portal and go back. Anyway, another stables here. I think I check for the back like that. The right side is a bad gap, and I loot it first, and then I loot the bottom chest, and then I know that the left side is a good gap, I think. And so I just open that up and lure the pigs down with the normal manhunt gap. This isn't an incredible manhunt gap. That guy was squeaking out on the stairs, but I like double aggroing because you can pull in some guys from like the outside of the bastion, as well as like if they're in the bottom of the stables area, then sometimes they get like pulled up earlier, which you can deal with them a little bit cleaner. Um, I should probably go back to using lava bucket here instead of just blocking it off with a block. Lava bucket is just like slightly annoying for when you're leaving the bastion because you have to like pick up the lava bucket, and sometimes the pigs don't even path perfectly in compared to just a block where it's like, okay, they're blocked off and then you let them in whenever you feel like it. But um, yeah, actually, I don't know. That's it. It's interesting. I eat here. I was slightly too slow on my eat there, so I didn't get the hunger or the health boost, but I'm on 10 hearts, so it actually just doesn't matter at all. Uh, I'm just kind of trying to overlap. And again, this is like what happened to me last situation where it's like I'm trying to just do my inventory management, get the back wheel, drop them down, and then just be done, and then being able to leave. Because when you do that, you can check chests until you have enough obby. Compared to if you're doing this, you're guessing how much obby you're going to get from trades, and so you don't know how many chests you have to check. And so for in this scenario, I ended up losing time because checking these chests, I have 11 obby. Okay, do I get 9 obby from the 30 gold? Probably not, so I gotta go check more chests. Let's see if I get obby from here. There's no obby there, but I think was the triple chest a 5 obby chest? I don't know, but either way, I end up checking this double, which I think it's better. Thinking about it like right now, mining through into this buried double is not as good as if I just like went to the bottom and mined through it from the bottom, because that overlaps my movement. It's a bit cleaner, and then I end up at a better spot. And yeah, I do all this just for a bad chest, so that was just not worth it. Um, I should have. I mean, obviously I have to check it, and then here's just a very goofy mistake that I make. I don't know how to like. I mean, you'll see. It's just I thought about it for so long. I thought about it for so long. I'm like, okay, let me not mess this up. And at each time, I just looted the chest before I landed the jump, so I lost all my momentum. This one at Pearl Hunt, there's so many zombie pigs in the Bastion, but finally heading out to the trades, check them. Looks like we have the obby, so that's good. And oh, there's not much else I can get from this. Looking for a spawner, just keeping my eyes peeled, and I spot it on this side, and I'll probably just go for an immediate blaze bed here. I probably should be on 6 RD just in case there's strays, but this fort does look pretty bad, so um, I think using the soul sand instead of nether brick for that like two placements at the top there is actually slightly better, slightly higher chance of getting rid of the entire back of the spawner. Um, so it's good that I did that. From here, it's like a little bit of awkward blaze fetting where I have to kind of bait them in, but getting that blaze bed off before they spawn is important, in my opinion. And then I try to build this back wall out, clear out the rest of the blocks so that it's a fully open blaze spawner, because you just want the highest odds that you can for having high spawns, especially in ranked. And I'm on low rods, so there's no potential for strays. Whatever else. Also, one thing that I should maybe talk about is I started offhanding food in forts specifically. There are people who offhand food all the time, which I don't particularly agree with. It is kind of simpler and easier to like track in your mind, but there's just a lot of opportunities for um, time save with using your offhand when it's not used for food. That being said, I put it in forts because what you can do is overlap the eating with the axe charge. So, oh my god, some more shenanigans with bow. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Um, but yeah, you basically can just right click and eat, and then your axe charge, your axe will just get charged, and then you can hit immediately after you finished eating, which is just like a nice little like 2 second overlap, man. So there, I see that as like the best potential for like forts and the best thing to use in forts. So I do it, and it's 1800, so I know it's really fucking far. So I'm gonna probably wait. Do I have 6 rods already? Yeah. Okay. So actually at the spawner, I probably could have played it a bit better if I had just overlapped a little bit cleaner. But either way, I have to go to these cords here, and I know it's really far, so I'm trying to throw as big pearls as possible so I can eat as little as possible. And um, I'm really just trying to make my way, and I'm looking for any down terrain, because obviously I'm at Y86 here, but it doesn't seem like there ends up being any, so I just have to dig down, which kind of sucks. But I see my sea count is at 134, so I'm really just waiting for like myself to take a big drop. I build this portal at the bottom of lava here. It's fine. And I do that portal, and then I'm in the stronghold at 8, which is like pretty similar pace. Like all three of these runs felt very similar. Oh, am I not in starter? I'm not in starter. When do I notice? I notice now. I start back naving? Yes, I do. Okay. Okay, so, okay, this is interesting. I wanted to talk about this maybe for like a little bit. I didn't spawn in starter. I'm assuming I just spawned below somewhere. Um, okay, wow, I heard it while back naving. That's lucky, but, Emma got mad at me yesterday for building my portal under lava because if you build your portal at Y like 20, you have a high chance of missing the, or you don't have a high chance, but you have a chance to miss the stronghold compared to if you go at the top of the lava, you have a slightly faster portal and then you don't really ever miss the starter, which I just like disagree with, but the more and more experiences I have, the more and more I am inclined to agree with him. Um, which I don't like it because I wish there was just one correct play, but I mean it's Feinberg, he's probably right. And anyway, just normal hunger reset into 0. I don't think this is fast enough for a... Yeah, it's definitely not fast enough for a sub 10, but back 88 or something, very free 0. But I have lots of beds and explosives, and a hunger reset means I have lots of health. And so I do left side anchor again because it's 94. One thing about that is left side anchor, I always really like it, but Rain recently tried it out, or Rain recently figured out that, like, you could just do something different by moving your whole setup to the right one block, and your anchors will probably do more damage, and he is probably right about that too, so I'm probably going to try that out. But either way, that's the end of it. It was good matches. I played well.